What's up, everyone? Welcome to Pat's Chat, a proud member of the CLNS Media Network. Make sure to hit subscribe on the Pat's Chat channel, on Patriots Press Pass. Turn on notifications for when a new video drops on the channel. Michael, Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Doug. Do
I
you
didn't
notice?
in our pre-podcast talking. I didn't even say that to you. I saved it for the show.
Oh, I noticed. No. Do you have you noticed at least the past couple of years, you see on like social media everywhere on New Year's Eve, like, "Psh, thank God this year is over." And it's
Yes.
like nothing like just because the calendar year changes, like it's the world is sort of constant, you know.
Yeah.
Our
There's not like a hard break. You don't hit
yeah.
reset.
Our demarcations of what's what doesn't actually change anything. So, I guess I understand the perspective. You take a pause, you assess things, but like, thank God this year's over. So you've got to work on that. I think I'm
There
just
are
trying to help.
people in this world who believe in weird things,
Yeah,
and that's among them.
yeah,
So
oh, it's things are going to change.
yeah.
Nothing's going to change. Everything sucks forever. Deal with it. Anyways, happy
Well,
New Year to you and everyone listening.
2025 was a good year for the Patriots up until the very end. This is I don't know. We can't talk about this as casually as we usually do on this
Right.
show. There won't be as many pithy remarks. There will be later in the show, but obviously, yeah, not a great week for the Patriots with Stefon Diggs and Christian Barmore both receiving criminal charges. I'm sure if you're listening to this show at this point, you've seen all of the news, you've seen what happened. I haven't talked to you about it yet, though. So I don't know. I mean, it's one of those things where you just have to wait for all of the real details to come out. But I don't know. My main takeaway from it is this was a storybook Patriots season. Still could be. But this news coming at the end of it, right before week 18, just has to put a slight damper on it. I don't think there's any other way around it.
Definitely ruins a bit of the what's the word? Something go lucky.
Happy
I
go
don't know.
lucky?
Happy-go-lucky, fun, fancy-free season that the Patriots were having when you get criminal charges involved. And I know, like, there's nothing more. Like, I understand the need for it because in this society, like, there's a lot of different badness. Like when sports media types have to come on and be like, it's bad to assault people. Like, I think that
Right.
should be a given. So, like, if I
Yes.
think it stands like if the accusations are true, they're terrible and they'll be dealt with accordingly. You would hope, but you also like don't want to crucify someone for accusations made.
Right.
So you have to kind of. I think the only thing you can literally do is let it play out and see how that develops. Because I think if you go too far either way, you're just sort of pontificating for the sense of pontificating, and I don't think we want. I know you don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But you can, for the current week, day, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
assess it in terms of what it means right now.
No, for sure. And just to go over it really quick, Stefon Diggs was accused of assaulting and strangling his personal chef. He has categorically denied those accusations. And then Christian Barmore was accused of assaulting the mother of his child. It was a domestic assault against a family member. His agent released a statement saying, "We are confident the evidence will demonstrate that no criminal conduct took place. Based on the facts and the law, we expect that this personal matter will be resolved in the near future and both parties will move forward together." The Patriots said in their statement about Stefon Diggs that they support Stefon Diggs. They said in their statement about Christian Barmore that they were aware of these accusations when they first came out. I assumed that meant back in August when the assault allegedly occurred. We asked Mike Vrabel about that yesterday. He didn't give real clarity on when they were made aware of that. He seemed to say that they were made aware of the Stefon Diggs accusations when court filings were claimed, or when court filings were filed. I don't know.
Sure.
I'm not an expert. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I thought if we're going to talk about this media wise, I thought for the most part, Vrabel handled it pretty well yesterday. I'm curious for your thoughts on that. I think it would have gone far differently if Bill Belichick was still the head coach or if Gerard Mayo was still the head coach, Bill Belichick would have gotten frustrated, I think, by the amount of questions that Vrabel received about it. I believe that Belichick probably would have just kept referencing the statement that the Patriots made on both incidents. Mayo, I feel like Mayo didn't handle Peppers terribly last year, but the one quote from Vrabel that has stuck out is that he said he's not disappointed at all by the accusations. And I think like purely taken out of context of a full 12, 13-minute press conference, that looks bad. But I don't know. I mean, I think that he's also doing what you're saying. And like, you can't just assume that these things are true.
Right.
And are you disappointed that accusations come out? I think that if he's saying he's disappointed, then that would be like a disappointment for the season. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to fix this for him, but what was your thought on that comment?
Yeah, was the question disappointed that these distractions have come up? I feel like that the quote, the response was posted, but not necessarily the question. So I think he was trying to downplay the distraction that will come this week and moving forward.
Right.
Not
The question was, outside of winning on Sunday. Oh wait, no, that's not. That was Drake Maye. It was, how disappointing is it to have to deal with this type of distraction involving two players with alleged cases against them right now?
So as the head coach, you're saying like we're eliminating the distraction. We're working around like so the quote by itself looks like he's saying I'm not disappointed at all.
Right.
But in actuality, it was, the coach's job to coach the team this week, and that means not falling prey to distractions.
And if he's saying he's disappointed, then that acknowledges that there are distractions, which it seemed like him and the rest of the team were going very strongly against the fact that this could serve as a distraction for them this week.
Right. And I mean, not the bigger, but the most pressing or time relevant answer was that he doesn't expect either will be put on the commissioner's exempt list this week, which feels significant.
And the NFL basically said that too, although the NFL's statement was kind of wishy-washy, I felt.
Yeah, it's interesting because, I mean, it was a year ago that Peppers had that come up, and then he was, if I'm not mistaken, fully exonerated, right? Like he claimed right off the bat that he had evidence.
Yeah, he was found
video
not
evidence.
guilty. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tricky spot the league is in. I guess the league is, it's like a sad thing to talk about, but like the league is less sensitive to such stories because the league, what they care about goes up and down in various degrees.
Well, I also think that there is I'm once again, I'm not a legal expert. And hopefully I'm not getting myself into trouble by saying this, but the full statement from the NFL was, regarding both the Diggs and Barmore matters, which are under review of the personal conduct policy, there's no change to the status of Diggs or Barmore. Both are eligible to play at this time. Pursuant to the personal conduct policy, consideration for placement on the commissioner exempt list may be considered following formal charges in the form of an indictment by a grand jury, which hasn't happened, the filing of charges by a prosecutor, or an arraignment in a criminal court. So neither player has been arraigned.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's been a filing of charges by a prosecutor yet at this point.
Right. Like Diggs's is set for the 23rd of January.
His arraignment's set for the 23rd, yeah, and Barmore's is for February 3rd.
Yeah. I think
they've been charged, but I don't think it's been formal charges by a prosecutor. So that's, I think, the difference between this and the Peppers case.
Like the people got it confused with Diggs's lawyer trying to keep the file sealed. It's because he hasn't been arraigned yet. It's not like it wasn't like it's a common thing when there hasn't even been formal charges applied. Yeah. So
right, and I think Peppers was arraigned like right away for his.
Right. He was arrested, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty significant factor. So I don't know. I guess as far as you're concerned for like this week, it shouldn't affect their status. I guess it could, if say he's arraigned in late January and there's evidence presented by the prosecution or whatever it may be, the NFL may step in and say, all right, we can't have this guy play, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen right now.
No, it doesn't. So Barmore was out of practice with an illness yesterday. Neither Diggs nor Barmore talked.
Question for you.
Yes.
Because the thing that stood out most comparing the Patriots statements was, we support Stefon.
Right.
They didn't say the same thing for Barmore.
They didn't, but like okay, so let me read the Barmore statement in full too, just not to like I don't know, put it out like not to waste time or anything. But so the New England Patriots are aware of reports regarding a pending February arraignment involving Christian Barmore, which stems from an alleged domestic incident that occurred in August. The Patriots were made aware at the time of the incident and informed the NFL in a timely manner. The matter remains part of an ongoing legal process. We will respect that process, continue to monitor the situation closely, as we have over the past few months, and cooperate fully with the league. We will have no further comment at this time. So the Patriots did not say in that statement, we support Christian, like they did with Diggs when they said we support Stefon. But aren't actions kind of louder than words in this one, where he's remained on the team since the incident occurred in August?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not saying at this present moment we support Christian, but he's been on the team for the last 4 months, regardless.
Right. There
5 months.
was the 1 week of discipline, right?
Right.
When was that? My memory is a bit scrambled these days.
It was a few months ago now at this point. It certainly wasn't in August.
And that was never known what prompted that, right?
No.
It was coach's decision.
Right.
Yeah. And we saw I don't know. It just stood out. We support Stefon,
yeah, for sure.
Is an actual statement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's meaning behind that statement put out by a multi-billion-dollar entity.
Right.
In this situation.
And the police reports in both incidents obviously are bad, but we're waiting for all the information to come out. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah. The statement by Barmore's lawyer also, as I already read, is of note. So we'll see what comes of all of this.
Let's say this though. Let's have a Pat's chat statement. That stuff's true. See you later. That's all. Like, get out of here. I think it gets confused when you like we're not. There's no like it's not acceptable, obviously, and so but you just have to get there if it's true,
right?
And you just kind of have
to. And at that time, then like once more information comes out about all of this,
evidence,
I think we can make all of those determinations for sure. But yeah, I mean, I think I don't know.
It does. I guess overall, like
it's tough to make a sweeping generalization about all of this, but it comes down to like obviously, regardless of what happened, putting yourself in disadvantageous situations at all is something that Mike Vrabel has kind of preached since the beginning of his tenure as head coach here.
I'm willing to say this: at bare minimum, Stefon Diggs appears to be a lousy employer, and did seem to create an issue on his own. Like whether or not the next part's true, whatever went on with this contracted chef seemed to be lousy. So it seems to be an avoidable situation from the get-go.
Right. But yeah, we'll certainly wait for more facts to come out and see what comes of all of that.
To your point, it does like everything was like sort of storybook for the Patriots.
Yeah.
You had the win against the Jets. You had watching on the bus as the Bills lost. You have the hats and T-shirts. You have a Vrabel speech. Everything's going good, and then it's like bang, bang. Yeah. Not quite as fun. Like it definitely.
Vibes were about as high as they had been all year, I think I would say.
Yeah.
And it is funny because like just that Patriots name still elicits so much anger from NFL fans, where like vibes were obviously high in New England, but like the rest of the league is not rallied around the Patriots despite like if they had been any other team right now, I think that like they would be the most beloved team in the NFL. Like, oh, a fun rookie quarterback. It's a fun team. It's
like the Bengals when they went on a Super Bowl run, sort of.
Right. It's a
Burrow
fun
was very likable.
Like the way that the Bills have been over the last few years for some people. Yeah. But it is funny that since it's the Patriots and they've won so many games, people are still just like, no, there's no way we're jumping on this bandwagon. Screw this team.
You know what's funny about that?
Should win.
A lot of people have been like, well, it's different because the Patriots are actually likable this time. And like they might actually have some people around the country like them.
Right.
And maybe this segues into our next topic. Yeah. You see the way the Drake Maye MVP conversation has gotten so weird. I think people might have felt that way a little, but now that it's real, they're panicking and they're just pushing whatever hate button they have in their hearts. Like you can't escape the logo hate.
No, it is true. And it's funny to me in the Drake Maye MVP debate in that I feel like analytically inclined people are still pushing Matthew Stafford, despite the fact that really the strongest case for Matthew Stafford is counting stats. Like he has more passing yards and more passing touchdowns, but Maye is first in QBR. He's first in the EPA per play. Like
by a
most of
mile.
the advanced analytics clearly favor Drake Maye in this debate. Like CPOE is completion percentage over expected is like historical.
That's the chart where it stands out most. Where you have CPOE on one plane and
Right.
you have EPA per play on the other. And Maye is just in his own world, and Stafford's back in the middle.
Right. Exactly. And that's not obviously to say that Matthew Stafford's had a bad year or anything like that. He's been great, but he's just Maye is near or at the top of basically like every category, including counting stats. Like he's only really below Stafford in a lot of those. Whereas Stafford just does not rank as highly across the board in all of these things. And it is funny to see people on both sides twist the argument so much where Stafford supporters are like, oh, the schedule for Drake Maye. And then Maye supporters are like, well, the offensive weapons for Matthew Stafford. And in all reality, those things should probably just cancel out, right?
No, because I've never seen, well, maybe the weapons, but you don't see it used in these conversations ever. Certainly for MVP, where it's like we're looking at strength of schedule. I don't recall that ever. And look, MVP vote, like last year, I don't know why Josh Allen got it over Lamar Jackson.
I don't know either.
I didn't follow it as closely, but Lamar Jackson had him in pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Counting and probably analytical. I don't know. But people wanted Josh Allen to win it, so Josh Allen won it. Right now, it feels like people want Matt Stafford to win it, so Matt Stafford's going to win it.
Right.
I just think the conversation has gotten so strange and odd. And I'll start by saying the same thing I've said. I don't know how long have we been talking about Drake Maye MVP? A month and a half?
Probably, yeah.
Never cared, right? Like if I don't have a stake in his contract, I'm not his agent. If he wins the MVP, cool for him. If he doesn't win the MVP, he'll be fine. Like this stuff doesn't impact us. It's years ago I decided to stop caring about Hall of Fame debates for that same reason. Like I don't get into the Hall of Fame if I argue for someone. So it's really not my prerogative to push anything. You can't help but notice after Stafford sucked on Monday night against the Falcons, 3 picks, almost 2 pick sixes, but he had one, missed a wide open receiver, could have tied the game on the final drive. I know everyone's crying about pass interference on that a week after I saw Kayshon Boutte get tackled in Baltimore and not get called. So didn't quite cry about the hand fighting not get called. But immediately, like Burt Breer tweeted that night that the incompletions to Nakua and whatever the pass interference, who was that one to?
Probably those two. Yeah.
They were 2 of the best passes ever thrown, and that no one's ever thrown a ball like Matt Stafford. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then everything Darren Orlovsky's done since then has just been really strange and disingenuous, where it's just like, if you come out and you be like, I want Matt Stafford to win, it's a good story. He's 37. It's a lifetime achievement award. Just say it.
Right.
Because that's fine, because you can vote by whatever. But when you try to pretend like you're basing it on objective stats, you're lying to us and yourself, and you're making it weird. Just be honest.
I mean, so I like Dan Orlovsky, fellow Shelton High School graduate with my dad and Dan Orlovsky.
Okay.
2 of the most notable in my life Shelton High School graduates. He was teammates with Matthew Stafford. I think that needs to be said, right?
Yeah, he was his backup.
Also,
by the way,
the tweet where he waved at Scott Kaczmar, like
very disturbing.
You just have to. I know that I fell into the trap of quote tweeting.
Yeah, you
Scott
can't do that.
Kaczmar, but that was a mossing dunk attempt.
Not a hat tip.
You can't hat tip or positively engage with Scott Kaczmar.
You can't. That's illegal. You can't be like Scott Kaczmar has made a great point. That's like saying, I almost said something way out of line. So
the thoughts I've had about, like, I'm trying to make an analogy and I just decided not to.
Yeah. My analogy immediately went somewhere you don't want to go on the sports podcast, but you know what I mean?
No, I know. I'm trying to like.
It's
I
like
think we can do this. I think we can workshop the
okay.
proper analogy here.
Okay. I have a toddler who's very opinionated about like I don't know, putting pants on.
Hmm.
And it'd be like asking my 2-year-old, "Hey, is it good to put pants on?" And she makes an argument, "No, it's not." But in
Right.
actuality, we know it's good to wear pants.
Yeah.
And then you hat tip my 2-year-old and say like, "Yep, you're right. Pants are bad."
Right.
I
Yeah.
think that was a very safe analogy. That was as good as I could do.
Who's the cartoon that everyone hates that's like for toddlers?
A blue? No, Caillou?
Caillou. It's like hat tipping Caillou, I think.
I guess. Yeah, it's just
I don't want to. Yeah.
there's this odd I've watched sports my whole life. All sports, lots of sports. MVP's award given out. MVP awards are given out every year in every sport, right? I've never heard this used as a metric to sort of vault one over the other. And people say like, well, if their stats are the same, then you'd look at that. Their stats aren't the same. And some of the really smart people will basically adjust the stats based on difficulty of competition.
Kevin Cole did that.
And
my former colleague at PFF.
And Drake Maye are still better. So I just, again.
Well, like QBR adjusts for your schedule. It adjusts for opposing defenses.
Yeah. And
there's a stat for it. It's QBR. And like, that's not to say that every MVP case should be built off QBR. It's not like war for baseball, but like if your argument against a player is like opposing schedule and defenses, it probably makes sense to look at the stat that adjusts for that.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay. And this, I know things change over the course of a quarter century, so whatever, get off my back. You remember after the Ravens game, the graphic came on the TV and it said Patriots easiest strength of schedule in the NFL since 1999 Rams. And we all went, oh, well, the Rams won the Super Bowl. So what could that matter? Do you know, pop quiz, who the NFL MVP was in 1999?
I'm going to guess it was Kurt Warner.
It was Kurt Warner, who had the easiest schedule in the world. It has
and
not
no
been
one
matched.
Gave a flying crap about it at the time.
And so he got 33 out of the 50 MVP votes. Do you know who got the second most MVP votes?
Brett Favre. I don't know.
Marshall Faulk, his running back, who ran for almost 1,400 yards and had 1,000 receiving yards. They gave the MVP to the quarterback. So Kurt Warner had Drake Maye's schedule and Matthew Stafford's support team, and he got 33 out of 50 of the votes. So do things change in 50 years? I mean, 25 years, sure. But it's a good example. It's a good example of this not ever mattering before. And it's just weird that as of Monday, there's been like a full court press to campaign against Drake Maye, when you could make the case for Stafford without trying to belittle Drake Maye, I think.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just it's been noticeably odd. And it started literally, like I said, Breer tweeted like 5 seconds after the loss, after he missed, was it Xavier Smith, just wide open, just a horrible pass. And then 2 incompletions being 2 of the best throws ever. And it was like, something's going on here.
Yeah. Breer also tweeted that we shouldn't use betting odds to determine who the favorite is for MVP. I don't know. I mean, I guess voters could just decide against that, but.
Oh, well, the other weird thing is the next day, Florio comes out and is like, I might go Christian McCaffrey. And it's like, well, now what are we doing? If Saquon wasn't the MVP last year, running backs aren't going to win. Period.
Right. And yeah, I've seen Jackson Smith and Jigba be mentioned as well. I mean, I don't know. It feels like people are now at this point like they don't want to vote for May, and that I don't understand.
Yeah, there's definitely resistance, and I guess a good comparable be 2018.
The team went 4-13 last year, and if you replace Drake Maye with Josh Dobbs, they might go 4-13 again this year.
Well, let me throw another example at you. 2017 Chiefs went 10-6. They went to the playoffs. They played in New England in the divisional round, right?
Yeah.
I believe that Mahomes started week 17 that year. That was like his only start. Alex Smith was the starter. Yeah. The next year, he's the full-time starter for the first time. He took over a playoff team, and he took them from 10-6 to 12-4. and Patrick Mahomes was your MVP that year, getting 41 out of 50 votes.
Right.
There was no hesitancy. And now, granted, he threw 50 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable. But you didn't hear a peep about it. He beat Drew Brees for that MVP.
Right.
Who, could have had the case that it was a lifetime achievement award.
Right.
Don't give it. There was no don't give it to the youngster sentiment.
Yeah, I just don't
with
fully
Pat
understand.
Mahomes.
Like Drake Maye had a great season.
And let me add this, rightfully so.
Right.
There was you shouldn't. Remember that Cam Newton quote where he said Ed Hockley was you got to earn those calls. Wrong. Incorrect.
No, you don't.
No, there's a standard and it should be universally applied. So there's tons of examples that just make this weird. And again, I don't think it's a travesty if Matt Stafford wins on merit. He's had a great year. I think regular voters are going to look at the 40 plus touchdowns and be like, well, there's your winner.
Yeah.
And I think that's fine. I don't understand why there has to be this disingenuous loop-de-loop of nonsense.
I also, there's another part of this conversation. I don't know if people have gotten more annoying on social media or if the Twitter algorithm is making me see more annoying people. But I feel like every sports fan is just a giant baby right now. And maybe they always were. And maybe now I'm just seeing giant babies from different sides because of the Twitter algorithm. But I just feel like everyone is such a baby. There's no other word to say it about every single debate, every single rivalry, every single conversation is just people whining and crying about the dumbest things.
I don't want to say everyone. I want to say it's become not a space for sort of reasonable discussion.
I think that's fair. Everyone takes things to such an extreme.
Not everyone.
Genuinely, you would think, based on some of the tweets I see, you would genuinely think that Drake Maye played the Jets 16 times this season.
Right. Yeah. Well, people didn't really watch the Patriots, so there is an element.
Maybe they do think that.
They watched them twice in primetime, right? No, 3 times. 4. They got their primetime spots. I don't know. I think that even yesterday, I told you this before we started, I was at the doctor waiting for too long. I ended up tweeting my thoughts on how weird everything's gotten. And it's been 24 hours of just people just threatening each other in my mentions. And it's kind of it's not that serious, you know? Yeah. I understand you want your team to have the best guy and MVP awards are cool. But in New England, am I wrong? Don't people care more about Super Bowls than MVPs?
Yeah, I think Drake Maye does too.
And there was always that element where it's Patriots fans almost relished being overlooked. So maybe it'll be a positive thing. But I've said this before. I think I approached this topic maturely. Would you say that?
Yeah.
And with some thought.
Yeah.
And I tried to put it out that way, and just replies of do you want a tissue? And it's I wasn't crying. I very clearly if I'm crying, you'll know it, buddy. I will be crying.
People reply that about a lot of things now.
Yeah, it's not intelligent, but what are you going to do? It's the internet.
Yeah, it is what it is.
So where do we stand? Where would you vote?
Maye. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got the majority of the advanced stats.
Yeah.
He doesn't have DVOA, but he's got QBR, he's got EPA per play, he's got CPOE, he's got all I think basing things off purely counting stats, we have more information than that now at this point.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And I would say, I think you were right in that the schedule cancels out the skill position players. When you've got Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams, and a top 10 rushing offense versus Stefon Diggs, Mac Hollins, and a bottom 15 rushing offense. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that plays a factor. I saw another I don't know. I don't even know if it was my mentions or whatever, but someone was Nacua, Adams, and someone else combined for 12 drops. So that's why Drake Maye has a better completion percentage. And it's
yeah, you're bad at numbers.
You're bad at numbers. You're insinuating 0 drops for the Patriots.
Right.
And it's just
actually
ugly.
His best receivers were bad.
Yeah. I would I guess this veers off the road of analytics. I feel like winning 13 or 14 games is better than winning 11 or 12, especially when
you choke
in the
AFC East versus third place in the AFC West.
I don't know how a 6 seed quarterback can be more valuable than a 2 or potentially 1 seed quarterback. So
The
that's a pretty, like, you have to finish the season. Great season. You have
right.
to play in December too, in January.
The funniest tweet I saw, and I don't know who it was from, but it was like it wasn't from like a media person or anything like that. It was someone tweeted that Matthew Stafford would have gone 17-0 with Drake May's schedule. And it's like, oh, actually, they played 6 common games, and May was 6-0 in them, and Stafford was 4-2. So
Right.
that's categorically false.
Incorrect. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Bucks.
What, in common
They
games? I think
they
it was
lost to the
the
Panthers, lost to the
NFC South.
Falcons.
So it would have been Falcons and Panthers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did beat the Saints and the Bucks. So
Right.
the Pats, meanwhile, as you heard from Mike Vrabel, are AFC South champs
They are.
after they swept the division.
NFC
So
South champs.
either way, I guess it adds like a somewhat of a sliver of intrigue this week. Like, let's say Drake Maye goes out and throws 3 touchdowns and no picks and
Right.
finishes it off solidly. It might be enough to convince some of the Orlovskis out there, but probably not. I mean, the Rams have the Cardinals, and I think McVay said after the game Monday night that he planned to play the starters. I don't know if it's going to play out that way. They play in the late window. I don't know if their seeding will be. We've seen teams lose on purpose in the final week of the season, so
it's true.
TBD on that.
This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the perfect time to talk about it. Whether you're starting a new routine or making player picks for the first time, trying something new can be hard. But in life and on Prize Picks, it always feels good to be right. With high-pressure playoff matchups every weekend and elite hoops action almost every night, the action never stops, and Prize Picks lets you take control. This is a fascinating week for Prize Picks. Fascinating week.
Tricky one.
Because Drake Maye, we don't know how long he's going to play in this game. So
can we assume at least a half, right? Because if you look up at halftime and Denver is up 24-0 on the Chargers, you probably call off the dogs, but you can't do that until halftime, right?
Right. So Drake Maye, currently for passing yards on Prize Picks, the more than less than number is 246.5.
No, we're gonna go less than. You gotta,
and even more so. Okay, do you want to hear this one?
Yeah.
Pass plus rushing yards, 270.5.
Seems too easy to take the less than, but we gotta.
You have to. I think that's the one I feel even more strongly about, because like, how many rushing yards is that adding?
Like 30 something. I wasn't exactly taking notes.
246.5, like 25 rushing. So that just seems so high. And
yeah.
I don't know, even if Drake Maye plays 3 quarters or a full game, whatever, like, do we really think he's going to rush for that many yards? Isn't he going to protect himself as much as possible?
Yeah, I mean, he ran pretty well against the Jets without getting hit. So
right. Yeah, there's a possibility you can do it without getting hit. So
but I have to throw this as a sort of wrinkle. The Dolphins do not have a very good defense. The Dolphins will be playing in New England in January with absolutely nothing to play for. Yeah. There's an element that they play a special sort of soft defense, but I don't know. I wouldn't bank on that. I would not go that way. I would take the less than.
All right. So pass yards plus rush yards, 270.5. I am going less than.
I'm doubling down. I'm taking the pass yards too.
You're taking the pass yards too? All right.
Both of them. You know what? We started by saying nothing changes in the new year except for our accuracy on Prize Picks. That's changing.
All right. So now, how do you feel about Devon Achane, 68.5 rushing yards?
Probably pretty good. I'll be honest. It's Thursday. The game is Sunday. Mm-hmm. I will not be breaking down Quinn Ewers' film before Sunday. I'm just not it's not going to happen.
Threw for 2 touchdowns last week against Bucks.
Awesome. I am going to say they're going to lean on their very good running back to carry most of the offense. And 68 yards, if you give it to him 20 times, 24 times,
right,
seems doable. So I'll take that.
All right, we'll take more than on that one. I think we're getting greedy at this point. Maybe
you want to throw a new one then?
But interceptions, Quinn Ewers is 0.5. The Patriots are not good at turning the ball over. But they had an interception against Brady Cook.
Almost
and like
2.
I almost feel like they're kind of due for like a 3 interception performance.
Yeah, one where like, he's pressured, he just throws it over the middle to whatever line, like Jack Gibbons standing all alone in the zone.
And do we really think Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis are both going to go the entire season without an interception?
If I was to bet on that, I would say yes. Just
At this point, it's fair to say, yeah.
we're pretty deep into the season, but yeah, I like their chances to sort of jump a route. That offense is
And
not
what are the chances that
functioning.
yours is going to go 2 straight games without an interception?
Pretty low, I would assume. So yeah, I like that. Do all four. Do all four.
All right, we're doing all 4. $20 entry fee to win $100. We're due. Quinn Ewers is due. The Patriots defense is due. So we're going to submit that lineup. This is a fun segment every week.
I have another one for you. Okay, you got your
Yeah.
phone out? Because what the Patriots do is directly tied to what the Broncos and Chargers do, and we all assume the Broncos are going to win that game. They've been resting since Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
They win. They're the 1 seed. They take a week off. Like there's no reason for them to not absolutely smoke the Chargers, who have very little to play for outside of potentially seeding. I actually haven't gone that deep. Can they even move that much? Like they can't pass the Texans. They just lost to them.
Right.
I think they're going to be the 7 seed, right?
Yeah.
They probably have it. Like whatever.
Right.
We assume that's the case. You got any Trey Lance numbers for me? Because
I don't, unfortunately.
Because Trey Lance entered the league at the same time as Mac Jones, as we know, was the number 3 pick. 2.
Yep, 3.
2 was Zach Wilson. Sorry.
Yeah.
Number 3 pick overall. He's been in the league for 5 years. He's thrown 156 passes.
Not many.
That's like 4 games over the course of those years. So quite the unknown. I'm going to say probably for a reason we haven't seen him play much.
Yeah.
But I was curious what those numbers would have looked like. He's 7 for 13 this year.
For the Chargers-Broncos game, all we have is Bo Nix passing yards and Cortland Sutton receiving yards. So
yeah,
Prize Picks isn't touching that one. But you can download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Patriots are getting some players back from injuries, it seems, this week.
Oh, yeah? Like, you think
Will Campbell was a full participant in practice.
Yeah.
Milton Williams still questionable. We'll see about Milton Williams, but the Patriots did make 2 roster moves earlier in the week to free up space for Milton Williams and Will Campbell. I asked Will Campbell yesterday, I said, what was going through your mind when you did suffer that injury? Because we hadn't talked to him for 4 weeks or whatever it was. And his answer was, fuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he kind of went on and said more about it. But that's how it seemed in the moment when he suffered that injury, how he felt about it. Yeah.
It looked bad. It seemed as soon as I saw him chugging beer without a shirt at the Bruins game, I knew Will Campbell was going to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Will Campbell feels like he's a very beloved member of the New England Patriots roster.
Yeah.
Drake Maye has taken to him quickly. Those guys are BFFs. Garrett Bradbury in the background of him chugging that beer looked like a proud dad. That was great.
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll be big. I think Vidarian Lowe did his best in there. I don't think it was an unmitigated disaster.
No, I think he did much better than anyone would have expected.
Right. So they survived it. I wonder, let's say Milton Williams is like, okay. I'd still lean toward resting him in a game where you might end up resting starters anyway.
Right.
Unless someone's fully, I know you'd probably want him to get some run before the playoffs, but if he's that close and you can secure another week of healing, I don't know that this is the game that you'd push it for, where technically the 1 seed is at stake.
Right.
But so you don't want to just like take all your coins off the board. But you also don't want to needlessly extend anything that, like, what if he has a setback?
Right. And just the fact that he wasn't ready last week, he was talking about his conditioning a little bit. And then I asked him, well, he talked about being in football shape, lung capacity. Is it that's holding you back or the ankle? And he said that he feels more comfortable this week than he did last week. But he was still questionable, and he was still limited in practice on Wednesday. So we'll see how that continues throughout the week. If he's still limited by Friday, yeah, maybe you don't push it. One thing is that
Or
like it's so hard to predict injuries. So Milton Williams gets hurt. What was the? It was
it was the Jets game.
Jets game. He gets hurt against the Jets. He comes back into the game,
Yeah.
and then after the game, Vrabel says, "Yeah, given the circumstance, probably could have gone back in there, but
He
we
was
want to play it
also
safe."
he was right behind Vrabel giving high fives at the locker room
Yes,
with slides on, like shower
and
slides.
like the next day in the locker room, or like a week later, whatever it is, a few days later, like we see him walking through the locker room just fine, even after you've been placed on the IR. It's like, okay, 4 weeks, that guy will be back, no problem whatsoever. It's now been 5 weeks. Whereas Will Campbell, towel over the head as he's leaving the field, in the moment, looks like that could be a season ender for him. Like, given the circumstances, you would have thought that Will Campbell would have been able to return, or that Milton Williams would have been able to return in less time than Will Campbell.
Mm.
And we're on 5 weeks for Milton Williams, 4 weeks on Will Campbell. Campbell looks like he's ready to go this week. Williams, we're still not sure about. It's funny. You never know how injuries go in the NFL.
Yeah, and I guess to be clear, I'm not saying don't play Williams this week because he might get hurt. Like I don't think that's
Right.
it's
But
just
if
more
he's
he might
still limited
aggravate
by it, then there's no point in pushing it.
if you can aggravate an existing injury. So maybe if there is the move where they play, maybe it's still like every other series. Maybe there is a limit to how much because
He's also played in the playoffs before, Like
I
he's been
think
there.
I think he went deep last year. I don't really recall
Been
what
there,
happened
won
last year.
that. What'd you think of the shirts?
Oh, been there one. I don't want to be mean to anyone, right? But like, who wants that shirt? Who wants to wear that shirt? Like the Patriots obviously were excited to get them and hold them up in the picture. I don't know how many would keep it because it's cornier than a 90s and one shirt.
Well, it's also so for fans, yes, they have been there and won that. The players on the team have not.
Well, they won the division. Been there, and then they won that being the division. But
see, I was thinking about it was more like in the past.
oh no, I believe it was a modern day celebration. The last year's I looked up when I saw it because I'm like, what was last year's? It was also not good. Maybe I'll look at the Bills and see what they said. They're usually corny. They've been corny for a bit. Ready to roll, AFC East champions. I don't know. It's a trick. Why not just say AFC East? We don't need a slogan.
Right. I thought back in the day, it was like 10 years ago. It was like, we run the East or something like that. We
Yeah,
run
that
the
was
East.
fine.
Like that was fine.
Yeah, that was fine. 2023 was it's a lock. I'm just looking at Bills division champion shirts over the past few years.
It's a lock.
It's a very easy thing to look up.
Yeah.
2022 conquered East.
It's not terrible.
It is terrible. I mean, these shirts, I'm not sure who they're for. Like, I guess if you're
right,
like the Browns, if they won the AFC North, that would be something to celebrate.
You know what? When the Red Sox won the AL East in 2007,
yeah,
I did buy one just because it had been so long since they won the AL
10
East.
years, right? 11 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm looking at.
I'll buy this.
So the Bills in 2020, you know what their division champion shirt said? Division champions.
Wow, interesting. That's a novel concept.
Yeah, so that one worked. But yeah, I don't. To answer your question, I did not like the "Been There, Won That" slogan. I don't think people are rushing out to Modell's at midnight to purchase that one.
Does Modell's still exist?
Not something I'm equipped to answer.
Is Dick's a monopoly?
Yeah, the sporting good industry is definitely downsized over the years, which is
but Dick's is not. Dick's is flourishing.
True, they build like our little arenas for people to come to. Yeah, because even like the little Olympias seem to be gone.
Yeah, I think Olympia is gone. Like Champ Sports is basically gone.
I got a tough one for you. 2018
Modell's,
Patriots.
Big Five Sports.
Patriots 2018 said "Reppin' the East." Not a cool shirt.
No. Dick's. Here's a little tip for anyone. We are not sponsored by Dick's Sporting Goods.
No.
Or the Dick's app. So, if you're someone who works out regularly, goes to the gym for 30 minutes, walks 10,000 steps, whatever it is, if you download the Dick's app and connect it to your Apple Health app, you accumulate free points every day, no matter what you do,
Just for
basically.
walking?
Just for walking, just for working out. If they've determined that you've worked out for 30 minutes, then they give you, I think it's like 10 points per day. And if you get 300, then you get a $10 discount. It's free money.
Interesting.
Free tip for you.
That is, I'm not going to do that, but good to know.
You should. There's multiple members of the Patriots beat who do this. Talk about it daily.
Well,
not a lot else going on for us.
I'm happy for you all. I'll say that. What is your favorite memory of a team losing on purpose in Week 17, and why is it the Patriots in the drop kick game and Matt Castle throwing the football out of the end zone with a chance to win it on a 2-point conversion?
That's up there, but last year's Bills-Patriots game, when
really,
the Bills were trying to get their punter incentives is up there too.
Yeah. That was at that game, as we know. I paid money to go for the first time in a long time, and Josh Allen took the first snap, handed it off, and came to the sideline and was treated like he had won the Super Bowl. Like everyone was jumping up and down there because he got like a consecutive start streak or whatever. That was a good one.
Yeah,
because some would argue that it, tempted the football fates.
It's true.
In that the Bills have been a little bit unlucky since then. Mm-hmm. And you could also say the example I used in 2005, the 2005 Patriots blew a second half AFC Championship game lead in Indianapolis, famously.
Didn't win a Super Bowl again for 9 years.
05, sorry, they lost in Denver.
Yeah.
That was the year they lost on purpose, right? It was not 06.
Yeah, it must have been, yeah.
Yes, they lost by 2. Oh, so I guess it was to tie it. But if you recall, the drop kick game, which was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots scored with no time left, making it 28-26. And I believe Bill Belichick was like, hey, rookie Matt Castle, if you do anything other than hit Sully in the 8th row, you're cut. And he did what he was told. He threw it away. It was the most meaningless game of all time. And that got them Jacksonville in the wild card round instead of whoever.
Yeah.
So that was losing on purpose. It's a risky strategy.
It is. I don't foresee the Patriots doing that this week.
I don't think they'll lose on purpose. I
talked over and over again about how all of this started in Miami back in week 2, and now they can finish it against Miami in week 18. That's his big rallying cry this week.
Yeah, and I mean, despite what he says, it's a week of distractions. So to pull it all together won't be a cinch the way that it might have looked last week.
Yeah. How was your New Year's?
New Year's was good. I ate. I just ate. In the old days, I would drink. Now I eat.
New Year's it's the worst holiday.
Why? I don't like staying up till midnight.
It's nothing burger. We stayed up till midnight. We watched movies. We ate Chinese food. I waited to get my Chinese food order. We ate food. I don't know. It's just, and then today is the actual holiday. You're telling me today feels like a holiday?
I don't know. It's snowy. The whole family's home. You have some coffee. Multiple
they
donuts.
need to do something else. Like, I don't know. There's presents on Christmas. There's costumes and candy on Halloween. There's turkey on Thanksgiving. Like, what is there for New Year's?
Just chilling. Just assessing that everything's different now. Everything's changed since the previous. I have actually, growing up and even as a young adult, you would never not watch Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve. Now it's unwatchable.
I would imagine. We watched about 5 minutes of the CNN one.
It's just I don't know if it's Seacrest isn't Dick Clark. I don't know if it's unwatchable. It's not fun. And that was a big part of New Year's Eve. So we lost. I think Dick Clark was New Year's Eve. That's my take.
Yeah, that's very fair. Speaking of things that used to be important and now are not, I don't know if you saw people like eulogizing MTV over the last few days.
I have not. I missed that in my algorithm.
So apparently, like, some MTV music channels out of the United States are getting shut down. So people took that as like MTV is going away. Oh my God, this used to be so. Listen, we are of the MTV generation where MTV was important when we were kids.
The most important.
That has got to feel like the most boomer shit ever for anyone young. MTV was actually important for about the same amount of years as the Patriots dynasty. Like, if we're like really breaking it down, MTV
Like the
was
mid
important from
80s
like
to the early 2000s.
from like 1981 until I don't know, like
Through the 90s.
2002.
Yeah, they kind
Like
of
about 20 years.
they offloaded the music aspect to MTV2 in the early 2000s,
Right.
which was still cool. So I would give it even through most of that decade. You could
Maybe
still,
it was relevant for like 25 years.
yeah, it's been a long time.
Grand
It's been
scheme of things, MTV is a blip on the radar. Like, I don't know. I hate to be like Generation X is going to be screaming at me about this because they are the ones who are like most attached to it. But I don't know.
I have a similar boomer concern, and I would like to talk to bands about this. And I want to ask, like, why do you still make an album? Because to you and me, an album is significant. It is a whole. It is 1 to 13 songs, and it is carefully crafted, the song order. I don't think a youngster is listening to an album front to back because singles are released sort of sporadically.
Taylor Swift fans listen to albums.
Different category in that way.
Yeah.
They also buy 13 versions of the same album, and because one has a different sparkle on it. But I just wonder, like, I think it was who was it? It was Bayside released like 4 or 5 singles over the course of a year and then released an album with all of those singles on it. And it's kind of like, is this an album? I guess in the modern era. But if you're a band that appeals to like 23-year-olds, don't even bother, just release some singles from time to time.
So that, I mean, I think that's fair. I would say like as a smaller band, it makes the most sense monetarily to record 12 songs at once rather than like record
but if you're
song every 5 months.
But if your bassist has a studio in his basement.
Yeah.
Then,
and you can just, hey, we wrote a song, let's record and put it out. Then
yeah. But it's similar. MTV, I mean, we're not the first people to break this news. They became an entertainment channel.
Right. Even though the relevance of MTV as an entertainment channel, that's been gone for like, what, 10, 15 years?
Well, because I saw news recently, it was like Ridiculousness is being canceled. And I was like, they were making new Ridiculousness episodes in an era where everything is just videos popping up
like
on your
Real
feed.
World was relevant, Teen Mom, 16 and Pregnant.
True
but
Life.
Like, what was that?
True Life was
I loved True Life back in the day. But like that was like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
God, I love True Life. I forgot about True Life.
True Life
is that great. Streaming anywhere? Can I watch that on Paramount
Probably
Plus?
on Paramount Plus, I would assume. But everything good on Paramount Plus came out 20 plus years ago.
I have so few opportunities. Well, now that when the season's over, I'll have plenty of opportunities to watch things on my own. But I haven't even watched Stranger Things. My wife doesn't want to watch it, and like the amount of time that I would have to watch something on my own is like if I'm flying to a different state, basically.
And it's been a short travel year. You haven't had like the cross country trip.
No. Yeah.
I'm pretty far. I watched one of the newer Stranger Things episodes, so I'm still like 3 behind, and everyone's tweeting about the finale. They're going to the movies. It's like, I don't know how people do it. I guess we watch sports. That's really what it comes down to.
I've watched the first 3 episodes of like this season, I think. So
there's 8, right?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah. I wanna clean something up. Okay. That I said. This is like Stat Boy at the end of Around the Horn.
Yep.
Technically, the Chargers are in the 6th spot, but Buffalo's in 7, and they're playing the Jets.
Right.
So we assume Buffalo will win, thus getting them a date with the 3 seed.
The funniest possible outcome in Week 18, and I'm trying not to be a homer on this.
Well,
the funniest possible outcome would be the Jets going all out to win and losing to the Jets, right? And the Bills going all out to win and losing to the Jets.
That would be funny. I don't see a road where that's possible.
Hey, they lost. They looked horrendous against the Eagles last week.
They did. But the Jets, the Eagles defense played pretty well. The Eagles offense played like absolute crap. I lost my fantasy championship thanks to it because the offensive play calling for the Eagles in the second half was throw the ball out of bounds.
Yeah,
and it's unproductive. But so the Texans have the Colts this week, and I believe the Colts are starting Riley Leonard.
Yeah,
I don't like Riley Leonard against the Texans defense.
No.
So I'm going to pencil the Texans in for a win. They'll be 12-5.
Yep.
The Bills will be 12-5, and the Chargers could technically be 12-5, but they'll be 11-6. Yeah. So they'll be the 7th seed and likely coming to New England next week, as long as the Patriots don't somehow lose to Miami and drop to the 3 seed with a Jacksonville win.
I know this happens often, but the fact that we've got Riley Leonard, Brady Cook, and Quinn Ewers all starting games in week 18, like you'd like there to be some possibility of the NFL not becoming only a quarter watchable in week 18, but I don't know if they'll ever fix it and solve it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I saw a take, and let's look the TV schedule this week because we've done this before. So if we go to week 18, which is this week, you have 2 Saturday games. Is that right?
Yes.
Carolina at Tampa Bay, which is like a quasi NFC South championship, but not really.
Wait, why is it not?
Because if the Saints beat the Falcons, or if the Falcons beat the Saints, one of those, then either Carolina or Tampa Bay is in no matter what.
Oh, okay.
So Tampa has to win, right?
Right.
But I think maybe Carolina gets in if the Saints beat the Falcons or vice versa. I really don't care because I don't.
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah.
I don't foresee a great playoff run from an NFC South team. And then Saturday night is Seattle at San Francisco, which is the NFC West Championship.
That's an important game for Doug.
Yeah. Oh, because of the scheduling next year.
Next year.
You got to like Seattle's chances. San Francisco played on Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
And they played on Saturday? Is that right? No, they played on Sunday Night Football. No, they played Monday night, didn't they?
They played Sunday night.
Okay. On the road?
No,
they were at home.
Seahawks played Sunday. Yeah. They played Sunday night.
Yeah.
At home.
I guess I thought it was Monday. I don't know my days this week.
Yeah, now the Seahawks have to travel. It's a short flight to San Francisco, but
Doug, what even day is it? It's COVID all over again.
You know what? We need to go. But it feels like it's been a week without football already.
Yeah. There's no Thursday night football. Well, you get college
Thursday night football tonight. But there is the college football playoff. So
which Indiana, Alabama being at 4 instead of 8, I would have flip-flop that.
You know what I feel like is actually unfair, and I don't care because I don't like Oregon, but having Oregon play at noon Eastern, that's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
They're
playing.
It's a pretty important game, and they're playing at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
I guess it's pretty weird.
I don't know. It doesn't seem totally fair.
But just to finish our football schedule, so the 1 o'clock game on CBS in almost the entire country is Indianapolis at Houston. So Riley Leonard at maybe the best defense in the league. You get Green Bay at Minnesota in the middle of the country.
Wow.
And then Cleveland at Cincinnati, just in Ohio, basically.
Wow.
So then the late game.
Yeah, the 425 slate's a lot better, huh?
Yeah, you got Chargers at Denver, which is not technically a good game. Looks like a good game.
Right. Lions, Bears, Dolphins, Patriots. I guess it's not that much better.
So they both get double headers. I don't know. It's not the best week, but if you're a Patriots fan, you'll probably have the Patriots and Dolphins on one TV and Red Zone on the other to keep an eye on the Broncos game. But I would say maybe a 7 to 8% chance the Chargers upset the Broncos and open up the 1 seed for you, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, maybe even less. Yeah.
And we should say this, like, I know you can look at the Raiders game and the Steelers game as oh man, if you didn't do that, you would have had the 1 seed.
I don't know if you can even do that. Yeah.
Because they won 13 games and they probably will win 14. I don't think there's much to sort of lament.
No, I don't think so at all. Yeah. I haven't even seen people lament that. That was the first time I've ever heard.
Just to get ahead of it, because they're going to have to play while Denver gets. And one more thing, Doug. Clean one more thing up.
Okay.
I left this out of our conversation about the MVP talk and debate being weird. You can argue with me that strength of schedule has never come into play, which it hasn't. You cannot argue with me that at no point has the standard of touchdown passes against 11-win teams been used as a determinant. Because guess what? Everyone won 11 games this year. There's like 12 teams with 11 wins. And that doesn't mean they have a good defense.
No.
Like the Detroit Lions, they didn't win 11 games. But you know what I mean? They were a great team last year. They didn't have a very good defense. There are many teams with 11 wins that don't have. The San Francisco 49ers got carved up by Phillip Rivers. Doesn't mean their defense is good.
Hat tip to Scott Kaczmar for that stat.
So that's where you really raised an eyebrow. Like, what are you people talking about?
Right.
Just be normal. Just be normal and be honest.
Yeah. All right, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to Gillette today. So we will see you guys on Sunday night.
Late night.
Pretty late that night, I think.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Goodbye, everyone. Happy New Year.